having your feet out in front of you, whatever's more comfortable for you. Today we're going to focus on hips and shoulder opening. Thank you all for being here today, for yourselves and for each other in our beautiful yoga community. Starting off with coming into your space, bringing your right hand onto your tummy and your left hand onto your heart. Noticing your breath and softening your eyes as you come into your space. Noticing the ground beneath your legs and your feet, bringing your spine nice and erect, softening your shoulders, taking long, deep breaths, noticing how you're feeling in your body today. If there's any tightness, exhaling into those areas, letting them go. Letting go of the busyness that you may have had this morning and getting here for your yoga. Thinking about introducing a Ujjayi breath. So as you're breathing in, notice as you breathe out a little vibration in your back of the throat and the sound of the ocean. So extending your exhalation. Imagine if you were breathing into a mirror and as you breathe out, you would fog the mirror. That sound, that's the sound of the Ujjayi breath. Just focusing in that place. The theme for today is Kintsugi, and this was inspired by some beautiful artwork down in Sawmillers that Elsa had arranged and had put there for us all to benefit. Kintsugi is a term for a Japanese technique of repairing a broken object. What they do is they repair it with gold leaf, and it makes the object more beautiful and much more stronger. As we all strive to have the perfect image of ourselves, we believe sometimes that exposing our vulnerabilities and imperfections will actually make it less lovable. But the Kintsugi technique actually celebrating the imperfections and making them beautiful and stronger. So if you apply this to your life, thinking about the fragility of our human character, it encourages us to see beauty in ourselves. So forgiving yourself for past mistakes and focusing what you control at the moment, which is the present. Being grateful for what you've learned so far and understanding that people will appreciate you more for your vulnerability than if you had the perfect persona. So as you move through your practice today, thinking about the theme of celebrating the imperfections and repairing them to be even stronger and more beautiful. We're going to come to all fours in the cat-cow position. So hands directly under your shoulders and knees underneath your hips. As you inhale, lifting your gaze and lifting your chest. And as you exhale, bring back up towards the sky or the ceiling and looking back towards your toes. So flowing through that movement. Noticing your breath and keeping the Ujjayi with you. We're going to move into some shoulder opening. Taking the right hand and lifting it all the way up to the sky, following the hand up with your eyes and As you exhale, bring the hand underneath your left arm and bring your shoulder down towards the mat. And then inhale, bring it all the way up. And then exhaling all the way down, bringing your shoulder down towards the mat. And on the next inhalation, and as you go down to the exhalation, bringing your right hand underneath the left, bringing your shoulder and your head down towards the mat. And if you can, take your left arm forward a little bit to deepen out the movement and to feel a little bit more stretch in your shoulder. We're going to stay here for 5 breaths. And on the next inhalation, coming up, bringing the right hand on the mat, exhaling into a child's pose, rinsing that out through your shoulders, taking a couple of breaths here, and then coming back onto all fours, and we'll go to the other side. So this time we're going to lift our left hand, follow the left hand up with your gaze, and as you exhale, bring it down underneath your right arm and looking over towards that left hand. Inhale, come all the way back up again, turning your chest up towards the hand and all the way back down. Inhaling, coming up, and as we exhale, we're going to go down and we're going to hold. So bringing your shoulder and your head down towards the mat, and take your right hand a little further forward if you can. Noticing that stretch out through the left shoulder this time. We're going to stay here for breaths. And one more deep breath. And then coming up into all fours again. I'm just going to go side on so you can see the next one. So the next one, we're going to go into a chaturanga. We've done this before a few times. So what we do here is we're going to inhale and we're going to raise our left leg. So we're going to gaze forward, have that left leg straight out from the hip, lengthened out through the foot, have your toes pointing down towards the ground, and we're going to take that leg in a circle in the clockwise direction, keeping your back nice and flat, controlling the movement. And then we're going to go back the other way. And then bringing the left knee back down to the ground. And we're going to inhale, lift our left leg and our right arm, so alternate arm and leg. And we're going to hold it here for 5 breaths. So feel that lengthening out through your hand and through your foot, toes pointing down towards the ground. Nice and flat through the back. Let's go 2 more breaths here. Really squeezing through the buttocks, noticing the stretch through your back. 1 more breath, and then bringing your hand back down to the ground and your knee back down. And then we'll go to the other side. So this time we'll be lifting our right leg straight out, lengthening through the leg. And we're going to do some circles of that leg, toes pointing down to the ground, keeping your body nice and steady, strengthening through and opening up that hip joint. And then taking the leg the other way. And then bringing the alternate arm and leg. So we're going to inhale, lift the left arm and the right leg. Really lengthen out through the body. Gazing forward towards that left hand, toes pointing down towards the ground. I'm going to take 5 breaths here, keeping it nice and steady. One more breath, and then bring them back down. And coming into child's pose to rest for a couple of breaths. Steadying out your breath. We're going to take a big breath in and then let out some of the heat. One more big breath in and then let it go. Next one, we're going to come up into a downward dog, and we're going to go into a 3-legged dog. So we'll start off with tucking your toes under, lifting your hips up, having your fingers nice and spread wide. We're going to lift up into a downward dog. This is our first downward dog for the practice. Paddling your heels down towards the mat. Taking some nice deep breaths here. And on your next inhalation, lifting your right leg and having that out. If this is a bit too intense, you can stay in a downward dog position. Staying here for 5 breaths, relaxing into the pose, nice and strong through that right leg, and the left leg nice and strong, holding you up there. And one more breath, and bringing that right foot down to the mat. And let's have 3 breaths here in a downward dog. And then we're going to inhale and take our left foot up, toes pointing down towards the ground. We're here for 5 breaths. So quite a strong pose through the legs and the arms. So thinking about the theme of the practice, the beauty and the imperfections, and the way that we can repair ourselves to make us stronger and more beautiful. One more breath here. Bring the left leg down into downward dog, and then come down to your knees and rest into child's pose. Noticing your breath, noticing your body, how you're feeling so far with your practice. Taking 2 more breaths in the child's pose, resting. And then coming up into a standing position. We're going to do a couple of rounds of sun salute. Since we've got this beautiful sun on our shoulders here, I'll take you through the first round and then you can join in. So we're going to stand in Tandasana. Inhale, bring our arms up into mountain pose. Exhale as you fold forward into Uttanasana. Lifting up through the chest, lengthening out the spine, either Ardha Uttanasana. And then stepping back on the exhale, either into high plank, or you can have your knees on the mat into low plank. Slowly lowering yourself down with your elbows next to your body. Tucking your toes under and pushing up into downward dog. We'll stay here for a breath. And then as we inhale, we're going to take our gaze forward and bring our feet up to our hands into Uttanasana. And then inhaling into Ardha Uttanasana, lengthening out the spine. And then folding forward, hugging your body into your legs. Inhale, come all the way back up. And back to heart center. Okay, so we'll do 4 rounds. I'll do 2 rounds with you, and then you can do 2 rounds at your own pace. So let's begin. So inhaling, lifting your arms up, looking up, exhaling, folding forward. Inhale, lifting your gaze, straightening out through your spine. Exhale, stepping back into high plank or low plank. Slowly lowering your body down to the mat. Lifting up into upward dog. Tucking your toes under. Going up into downward dog. We're here for a breath or two. And then stepping our feet up to our hands into forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhaling, lifting our chest and our gaze. Exhaling, folding forward, tucking your body in, close to your legs, and then inhale, coming all the way back up. Good. Okay, let's go again. Inhale, coming up. Exhaling, folding forward. Inhale, looking up. Exhale, stepping back into high plank or low plank, slowly lowering your body down to the mat, lifting up through the chest, lifting your gaze into upward dog, tucking your toes under and lifting your hips up in dog, staying here for a breath or two just to even out our breath, and then stepping forward into a forward fold. Inhale, lift your gaze. Exhale, bring your body in nice and close, nice stretch through the legs and the back. And then inhale, coming all the way back up. Good. Let's go 2 rounds at your own pace with your own breath. And our final round. And bring your hands back to heart center. When you finish your round, coming back to Tadasana. Just checking everybody can see me and hear me. Just give me a thumbs up. Good. Okay, just taking a few deep breaths there. It's quite an energetic practice, the sun salute. Bring your hands back to heart center. The next pose we're going to go to is garland pose. So it's a deep yogi squat. So this is where you can put a blanket or a cushion underneath your heels if you want to give you a bit of support in a deep squat. If you have any issues with your knees, it's okay to go a little bit higher. So what we're going to do is we're going to inhale and then exhale. We're going to come into a deep squat. We're going to have our hands against our knees, our chest up nice and tall. And stay here for 5 breaths. Gently opening out through the hips. Gentle pressure of your elbows to your knees. Keeping your spine nice and aligned. Chest up nice and tall. Taking deep breaths here. Excellent work, everyone. And then we're going to fold forward, bring our hands to the mat, and then come up into a forward fold. And we're going to stay here for 5 breaths. Have your hands on your shins if you like, or you can underneath your toes. Bring your body nice and close. Feeling that nice stretch through your lower back and through the back of your legs. 4 more breaths here. Just relaxing, be heavy in your chest. 2 more breaths. And then inhale, come all the way back up to mountain pose. And hand heart center. So next one we're going to do is a chair pose. So we're going to have our toes and our heels together. If you want, you can have your a little bit apart. And we're going to inhale. I'll go side on so you can see better. Inhale. And then we're going to exhale, coming into that chair pose. So you've got your nice and strong through the feet. So feel as though you can lift your toes up, having your chest up nice and tall. We're going to stay here for 5 breaths. It's a very strong pose for the thighs, good strengthening. One more breath here. And then we're going to twist towards the left, and we're going to try and pop that left elbow on the outside of the right elbow on the outside of the left knee. So we get a nice twist and looking up towards that left elbow. So get a nice twist through your chest. And 3 more breaths here. Really feeling quite intense work of your quads. And then inhale, coming back to center. And then coming up to a standing position. Having a few breaths, giving your legs a nice shake. And then we've got the other side to look forward to. So toes together. I'm not going front on this time. Toes together and heels quite close as well. So we're going to bring our hands to heart center, and we're going to go down into the chair pose position. So we've got lift your nice strong feet, toes. Your knees are over where your toes are. Chest up nice and tall. Doing breaths here. Good work. It's nice and strong. And one more breath. And then we're going to our right, hooking our left elbow over our right knee and gazing towards the right elbow. Still keeping that nice squat position through the legs. Go 3 more breaths here. And then coming back to center and coming back into Tadasana. Giving your legs a nice shake, taking some deep breaths. Just noticing how your breath is and thinking back to our theme of celebrating our imperfections and making ourselves stronger as we repair. Okay, coming back to the back of your mat, we're going to go into a Warrior One sequence. So turning your left foot out slightly, step forward with your right foot, and we're going to inhale, bend the right knee and bring your arms up. So the right knee should be stacked over the left ankle, or the right ankle. Taking 5 breaths here, keeping it nice and straight, a nice bend in that front leg. Noticing the stretch through your hip flexor. That's it, nice work. And then taking our hands down and bringing them behind us into a humble warrior. You can either have your hands straight out or you can clasp them, looking forward. That front leg is still bent. Taking 5 breaths here. Feeling that stretching and strengthening through your right buttock. And then taking your hands down towards the mat. And then as you exhale, Straightening out that front leg. You can bring it a little bit closer together if you want. Bring your feet a bit closer together. And we'll take 5 breaths here. Then bringing your right hand to your right ankle or inside the right foot. And we're going to inhale and go into a triangle twist, looking up at that left hand. So nice and strong through the legs to keep you nice and stable. So the front leg is straight now, or fairly close to straight. Taking 5 breaths here. Feeling a really nice stretch through that inside of the right leg. And then bringing your hands back to center. And then coming back up, giving your legs a nice stretch. Okay, just have to move a little doggy up. Okay, Molly was getting a bit twisted up. I thought we were just going to pull everything over. Okay, so now we go to the other side. Okay, so this time we've got our right foot out to the side, stepping forward with the left leg. As we inhale, we're going to raise our arms, raise our chest and our gaze, feeling that nice stretch through the right-hand side. Taking 5 breaths here. And then bringing our hands down and bringing beside us. Front leg is still bent. You can either have your hands straight out or into humble warrior with your hands clasped together. Taking 5 breaths here. And bringing our hands down mat and straightening out that front leg. You can lift the toes if you like. 5 breaths, just giving a nice stretch through the back of the left leg. And then dropping the toes down to the mat, bringing your left hand either onto your left ankle or just inside the left leg. And we're going to take our right hand all the way up to the sky or to the ceiling, looking at the right hand. Nice twist through the chest. Feeling that nice stretch through the inside of the left leg. Three more breaths here. And then bringing both hands down to the mat and coming up into a standing position. Give your legs a stretch. A nice shake. And then we're going to come down to the mat. So sitting on your buttocks, and it's nice and tall through the back. Our legs straight out in front with our toes pointing up towards the ceiling or the sky. We're going to inhale, and then as we exhale, we're going to fold forward, taking our hands down either to our ankles or onto our feet. Gazing towards your toes, taking some deep breaths. Each exhale, bring your body a little bit closer to your legs, relaxing into this deep stretch. Three more breaths here. And And then releasing your hands, inhaling as you come up. Bringing your feet together into legs into a butterfly. Bringing them nice and close into your body. Again, up on your sit bones. Bring your body a little bit forward towards your feet. So you're feeling a nice stretch through the inner thighs. Nice and straight through the back. Taking 5 deep breaths. Bringing in your Ujjayi breath again, this part. Just noticing the vibration and the sound of the ocean in the back of your throat. Still breathing in and out your nose. One more breath here. And then coming into legs straight out in front, coming down onto your back into a bridge position. So bring your heels nice and close to your buttocks. And we're going to lift up through our hips. Bring them up nice and high. And then we're going to take our hands and we're either going to have them on the floor beside us or underneath us clasped together. And then bringing our shoulders together and lifting up nice and high, feeling that squeeze through the buttocks. We're going to stay here for 5 breaths. Each time you inhale, take your hips a little higher, squeeze through the buttocks and bring your chin to chest. Three more breaths here. Releasing your hands and releasing your spine down to the earth. Hugging your knees up to your chest. And moving your knees in a circle, releasing any tension in your lower back. And then bringing your right foot down to the ground. Take your left leg across the front of the right leg. And you're going to draw your left leg towards your chest as you exhale. And inhale as you take the legs away from your chest. Noticing how that feels around your glute area, lower back, and ITBs, the muscle between your knees and your hips. And on your next inhalation, you're going to drop your right foot down onto the mat. Place your right hand on your left knee, left hand straight out from your shoulder, and draw that left knee across your body to the right side of the mat whilst looking at the left side. And coming into this deep stretch, releasing through the lower back, noticing the nice stretch through the left side of your body, massaging your left organs down the left side. We're going to stay here for 5 breaths, so just relaxing into that. Each time you exhale, allow your body to relax a little further, softening your eyes. One more breath here. And then bring your knees back to center and have both knees bent with your feet flat on the earth, and bring your right leg across your left leg this time and hugging that right leg towards your chest. So inhale as you take it away from your chest and exhale as you draw it in a little closer on each exhalation. Feeling that nice release through that right hip area, right glute. 2 more breaths here. And then taking your left hand to your right knee, right hand out, straight out from your shoulders, placing your left foot on the ground, and you're going to draw that right knee towards the left side whilst you look at the right side. Relaxing into that deep stretch, letting your body collapse into that twist. And each time you exhale, just twist a little further. Noticing the organs down your right side of your body, getting a nice massage. And a deep opening through the right hip, right buttock area. Softening your eyes, we'll have 3 more breaths here. One more breath. And then bring your knees back to center. And hugging your knees into your chest. Just releasing any tension and rinsing out the twist. From here, we're going to go into a inversion with our legs up. So you might be placed close to a wall or a chair or the side of the bed. So getting this to a comfortable position and taking your legs up into the air. If you're going to go into a half shoulder, using your hands to support your hips like a fruit bowl. As your legs are up in the air, just give them a gentle shake, getting them to feel nice and light, moving your ankles, just giving your legs a shake so they're nice and light up in the air. We're going to stay here for 10 breaths, just getting nice and comfortable, enjoying the inversion. Very good for your immunity and also for draining through the lymphatic system, taking any swelling from your feet and your ankles, down your legs to your knees, down your thighs into the lymphatic area around your groin area. The room and inside the room. Letting them go as you focus back onto your breath. Letting your breathing be completely spontaneous. Feeling the energy in your body from your yoga practice, the heat that you've built up over the last hour. Enjoying the relaxation and the energy as it settles in your body. Reflecting on the theme of our practice today, Kintsugi, a powerful concept. It can teach us that if we're broken, we can be repaired. And then with these repairs, we can look more beautiful and become even stronger than we used to be. Ultimately, we become the best version of ourselves. Rolling onto one side, taking a few deep breaths there. And when you're ready, coming up into a seated position, Thank you for being here today. We vibrate loving energy towards ourselves and each other, for our families and everyone around us. Bringing our hands to our forehead for kind thoughts, and to our lips for kind words, and to our hearts for a loving heart. Namaste. Okay.